Hi, Michael Robinson here with a little bit of shameless self-promotion. I have my own branded t-shirt on today. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Art. And today we're going to be talking about one of my originals, I Prevail. I'm going to start off with what might seem like a smaller detail, but is a very important part of this piece, but also is a bit of a departure from me, a little bit of a new direction. Might not seem like it at first. The bird here is very realistic. And I haven't done a lot of realistic things. I did do one very realistic thing, but I kind of Warholized it. I did a takeoff on Picot's self-portrait, so that was had to be pretty accurate. Anyway, the bird is a nice juxtaposition, and I've started to you'll see later on in some other episodes of Behind the Art that I've used realistic birds or other figures in new pieces. Anyway, I love this painting. This is awesome. And this background here is designed to be very subtle and yet lush in its own way. It's not monochromatic. I made it look like it would be, but when you get up close, it really flows. I put a little bit of green in here and a little deeper blue and some aquamarine in here to make it really interesting and alluring and yet keep the simplicity of it there. The piece, as I noted before, is called I Prevail. It's named after one of my favorite bands, I Prevail. And it quotes a lyric from one of their songs. It says, I was meant to rise above it. And that spoke to me on so many levels, okay? This piece was inspired a lot by my dad, who had recently died and shortly after that I started this painting. And I was just thinking about what a motivational figure he was in my life. We were very, very close. We were both writers together. We worked together. I worked for him for a while, so we talked all the time. And he had cheated death so many times. He made sergeant in the Marine Corps in Korea at age 19. And that happens when bad things happen to all the guys above you. Anyway, he cheated death so many times, 2 tours of Vietnam and so forth. And it kind of inspired me to think about the spiritual things. I'm a pretty deeply spiritual person. I may not have a conventional religious view, but I definitely believe in the meaning of life as I see it, in a higher power, intelligent design, and things of that nature. So obviously, this is an angelic being here. And to me, this creature is not just rising into the heavens, but maybe looking down from the heavens. The king of life is what this crown reminds me of, and I like this halo that I put in here. Not a literal one. That'd be super corny, really. But I gave it this bit like here, and I accentuated that by giving a little bit of light lavender, a little custom lavender that I created for this piece. I wanted to accentuate the beingness, the spiritual aspect of this being. And so I gave this, it's almost like this light is trying to shine through and communicate with us. It's a little bit of light, a little bit of white, a little bit of light blue, and then successive layers of darker blue. And this character, like I said, could be hovering and looking down from the heavens. And the crown, I want to talk about this one more time because to me it's like symbolic of the accomplishment of overcoming so many obstacles in life. You got to get out of bed every day and attack the world. I don't mean that in a negative energy way, but I mean you just got to get out of bed and get things done. You got to rise above it because life is going to throw a lot of obstacles your way and you can overcome it. I believe it. I wouldn't have painted this. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the story of I Prevail and this episode of Behind the Art. This original will be available for sale to the public in the near future. In the meantime, we have prints in a number of different sizes. I hope to be offering you posters and things like that. We're doing some merchandising here at Michael Robinson Art. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the story of I Prevail, and I do hope you enjoyed the painting as much as I had fun making it. Let's just close on that look. There we are.